Hey everybody! So today I'm going to be doing the Draw My Life tag. You guys have been asking me to do this. I am not the best artist. I actually fail at drawing, but it doesn't matter. Here is my life. So I was born on a Thursday, May 17th, 1990, so I'm 22 years old as of this moment. I think that's why I love Thursdays so much. I don't know, I love Thursdays. My Maja, she had very curly hair when I was born. I don't know why. I think she had a perm actually. And my dad, he's always happy and smiling. And when I was born, I was very, very small. I mean, to this day, I'm 4'9", so I'm very small as it is. I was not premature. I was just very, very small. And everyone always tells me how my dad could fit me in the palm of his hand. That's how small I was. Growing up, I always had very, very long hair. My mom loved long hair, so she kept mine long, and when I started taming it myself, I kept it long as well. And I was a very nice girl growing up. I still am very respectful to people, happy, nice, and that's who I am. A lot of people growing up didn't really like school when I was in school, but I loved school. I loved all subjects, especially math. Math was my favorite. I just loved being in school and learning and expanding my brain. At an early age, I developed a passion for animals. I just loved animals and always needed to have one or two or four at all times. I just loved dogs. We had a lot of dogs and also a few cats as well in my life. They're just my love. That's who I am. I love animals. They're just cuddly and furry, and you can tell them all your deepest, darkest secrets. There's a very funny story that always goes around with my family. When I was about 3 or 4 years old, and my dog, I forget, his name was Zeus. Was it Babar or Zeus? One of them. Guess we have really intricate names for our dogs, but here's me again with my long hair, and what I decided to do, because I had a bright idea, I was just a weird girl growing up. I still am weird. I decided to take a stick of butter, and I have no idea why I took a stick of butter, but I just decided to, and this is supposed to be a couch, by the way. Yeah, don't judge me on my artistic abilities. I decided for some reason to wake up in the middle of the night and take a stick of butter and rub it everywhere, all over the couch, all over my dog, all over my hair, and myself, the floors, and everything. I was just reckless. And I was not a bad kid growing up, so for me doing this, it was just a weird thing. I was a weird kid. I had weird thoughts and wanted to do weird things that no one else did. I don't know. I'm just a weirdo, even to this day. So my mom was sleeping, and she could just, do a dozing off, and then all of a sudden, she could hear strange noises going on in her kitchen, and she woke up really quickly and decided, I'm going to go into the living room to see what is going on, right? Well, she walks in there, and what does she do? She falls straight on her back because she slips on the rug. She literally went airborne for at least 10 seconds into the air and fell on the ground. And then I say in the back, hurry, lick it up, eat it, eat all the butter, mommy's coming. So when I was 6 years old, my parents had a baby boy, so it became my brother, and you guys know him as Socks. He has a little mohawk there. He did not have a mohawk when he was born, but that's how you guys know him. And we were one big happy family, so it was my brother, myself, my mom, and my dad, who's always smiling. As soon as my brother was born, my parents said to me, you get to choose the name out of the hat. And I remember this so distinctively, that there was a hat and there was a whole bunch of names peeking out of there. So it was between two names, and there was two names on a bunch of different pieces of paper. And it was between Tommy or Derek, and I wanted Tommy so bad because I thought Derek was the most stupidest name ever at the time. I mean, I was 6 years old. And I remember that the one that said Tommy had a little tiny red tick on it. So when I went to go pick the name, I had one eye closed and one eye open, and I was searching for that red tick. So I pulled out that red tick. And then when we opened it up, it said Derek, and I was devastated and got mad at my family and said, that is a stupid name. Growing up as a little girl, I just was the biggest tomboy you could ever imagine. I loved playing in the dirt, getting muddy. I never wore dresses. I never wore heels. I always wore my sneakers and my rubber boots. And I loved playing with action figures. I never played with Barbies ever. Action figures were my thing, in my Batmobile. I played sports. I just loved being one of the guys. That's just what I liked. And my childhood, whenever I think of my childhood, childhood. What I remember is in one of our old houses where I basically grew up for most of my life, in our backyard we had a big swing set, and there was also a slide, which I drew sort of what looks like a J. It was almost like a jungle gym out there. It was very, very fun. Me and my brother always went out there almost every day, even in the winter. Every time we were done supper, or in the summer we were out there all day long. But there were these logs that held the sand into the sandbox, and I was always just the curious, weird kid, and I always thought, what is under there? What could possibly be under these logs? So I would turn over the logs and look what was in there, and there was all these bugs and spiders and centipedes and things that you don't ever see. And they would just crawl away and run away because I'm destroying their home, and I would just like to look at them, and then eventually I would get a stick and, start poking them because I was interested in weird things. Another very distinctive childhood memory that I have is when my dad would set up the video camera for us because we would beg him to. We would always, every Saturday would say, can we please set up the video camera? And he would just hit record and leave, and we would do our thing. We would sing and dance, and I don't know, we would do a lot of different things, and we would just think that we were on TV. I put my hair up into crazy messes, and my brother was there, and he was younger, obviously 6 years younger than me, so he would just show his cars, toy cars, and his toys, and his blanket to the camera, and I just sat there and danced and acted like a crazy person, as I basically do now. So it was foreshadowing my life, and I always just thought I was the most awesome person ever. And I think that's cool that we did that, because now we have stacks and stacks and stacks of VHS movies that we recorded in our past, and it's really awesome to go back and look at what we did. One day during our fabulous family suppers that I just adore, because we always ate suppers as a family almost every night, and that's what I always remember. And I don't know why my brother and my mom were standing on the table. They never did that. I'm just a bad drawer. Anyways, I just told them that I wanted to be a mortician. That's what I just said to them. My dad was shocked, and why is my little girl saying this, right? My mom had no idea what that was, and my brother just continued to eat. Throughout my life, in school, growing up, in general, I have always just been one of the guys. I have always had lots and lots of guy friends, more than girlfriends. I only have had a few girlfriends. Mainly I hang out with guys. I connect better with guys. I was a tomboy growing up. That's just how I rolled, and still do to this day. And I skateboarded along with them just like they did. However, a big part of my upbringing was my cousin Carrie. We just were inseparable. We had sleepovers almost every single weekend. We always were at each other's houses. We just did everything together. I love my cousin Carrie. We always sang and danced and pretend we were the Spice Girls, and we just did everything together. And we also did set up the video camera and film us doing whatever the heck we wanted to. We had sleepovers. We made weird meals in the middle of the night for my family. We just literally did everything and anything. When I hit my teenage years, I came into my own person. I knew who I was, and I didn't care what people thought of me, and I still don't to this day. You know, if I wear a purple sweater with Pokemon on it, then I'll rock it. And I just wore the craziest outfits when I was becoming a teenager. I wore Converse and striped socks and khaki shorts and bright everything, and I wore a tie every single day in grade 8. Every single day. I never took it off. And it was because my love for Avril Lavigne, and I loved her style, and I became it my style, and I put funky colors in my hair, and I just was so proud to be myself. I wore spikes and chains and bracelets, and I was who I was. When I got into high school, that was my first ever group of girlfriends that I hung out with, and I have so many great memories with them. They are awesome girls. We spent our whole high school lives together. They're just some of my best friends growing up, and I love them. But having said that, I still was one of the guys, and I still had my very close group of guy friends who I hung out with, and always hung out with, I should say. After school, in school, I was just inseparable with my guy friends. And yes, they wore hats like that, and they rode on skateboards together. No, they didn't, but they wore hats like that. Almost my everyday life in high school, and I mean my everyday life at night, is I walked this path to the park, and the park was only like a 5-minute walk, and I met my friends there, and there was a school. We never went to the school, obviously, because it was an elementary school, but we always hung out at that park every single night, rain, snow, shine, and I had my very best friend, Kelly, and we were inseparable, and even though she was a girl, I hung out with girls. Me and Kelly were BFFs, and we hung out with all the guys. It was just me and her were the only girls, and we literally went to that park every single night. We sang and danced, and we swung on the swings, and we did everything. My whole high school nights were basically spent at the park. We called it the park. In high school, I didn't stick to a clique. I never was cliquey. I hung out with everyone, and I was nice to everyone, and I just wanted to be friendly to everyone. So the last few years of my high school life, my girlfriends and I decided that we would start an anti-bullying club, because having been through elementary school and part of high school, we could see bullying happening, and we weren't the type of people who did that to other people. So we wanted to prevent it. So we started an anti-bullying club in our school, and we encouraged people to join the club, and it was an awesome experience, and I highly recommend it for anybody who's in high school right now. We were fortunate enough that we got to share our voice, and we traveled to so many different high schools and mainly elementary schools. We went to all these different places, and we let our voice be heard. Us girls, my girlfriends in high school growing up, as well as Kelly, my BFF there, traveled to all these schools and let their stories be told, and it was so many kids. Like, it became so many kids that we were helping, and we would show them skits and let them talk and let us share our stories, and it was just a very positive experience for anti-bullying. One of the best days in high school was when I went to one of our spring fling type dances. I don't know, I never went to many of those, but I was fortunate that I went to this one. There was a DJ there, and no, he wasn't Pauly D, but for some reason I decided to make this guy look like Pauly D. But anyways, I was there, and I met my best friend for life, and her name is Stacy, and we became inseparable that moment. We both decided to dance together, and we became BFFs. When I graduated high school, I was a little bit worried because I didn't know what I wanted to do for my career and for the rest of my life. So I kind of just played it by ear, and what I did is I took a year off. So when I was done high school, I took a year off before I started to go to further my career. And what I did in that 1 year is I worked at Value Village for 6 years, actually. So I had been working at Value Village, obviously, in high school as well, but I took the 1 year off to work at Value Village for full time to make extra money to put myself through my furthering education. And what I loved about Value Village is that they support charities. So when I worked there, I helped support charities as well, and I met some of the most awesomest people, co-workers, friends, shoppers that work there. Like, I still see them to this day in my city, and they still know who I am. So I just had a great time there. What I did there is I went on the till, and I did cash register type things, and I rang in the money, and I hung up clothes, as you can see there, even though the racks didn't look like that, and I earned money. And a lot of people say, well, if you worked at Value Village doesn't pay that much. How do you have this money to buy this and buy this? For me, I am a huge budgeter. I budget everything, and if I can't afford it, I don't buy it. So I always budget what I can spend, what I save, and my debt repayment and stuff like that, so that I don't have any debt. So after I took the 1 year off, I decided I wanted to go to the big university in my city. So no, I did not go to college. I went to university. And while I went there, I was struggling, and I was so nervous. I wasn't struggling in school. I was struggling on what I wanted to do. I had no idea. So I thought, why don't I be a teacher? And no, I do not want to do that. So then I thought about psychology. No, I don't want to do that. So I thought about dentistry, because I do like teeth, and I had the grades to get into it, but it wasn't something that I wanted to do. So that was basically my university life, is figuring out what I wanted to do and taking courses and trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And during that time, I was going to a wedding. I had a wedding to go to, and I didn't know how to do my hair. I had no idea. And I'm somebody who forgets a hairstyle after I do it, so I just set up my video camera, because I did that in my childhood, and I did my hair for the camera by myself, for myself, and I didn't do it like this, but I basically did. LOL. And I uploaded that video to YouTube so that I wouldn't forget how to do the hairstyle for the wedding I was going to. Soon enough, I was getting comments and subscriptions and people saying that they loved it and please make more videos. And then YouTube became a huge part of my life, and I cannot thank you guys enough for that. I love making YouTube videos and I love doing it for you guys. Still, I was struggling what I wanted to do in my life for my career, and even though I had a good brain and I was smart, LOL at this brain right here, but anyways, I was smart and I excelled in my classes, but they weren't something that I truly wanted to do in my career. So what I want to stress to you guys is follow your dreams. What I truly, truly wanted to do and what I have wanted to do for years is be a mortician. That's what I've always wanted to do. So I thought, you know, what am I doing? I'm wasting my time. I'm wasting my money. I am dropping out of university and I'm going to go into embalming school as soon as possible, because it doesn't matter what you do in your life as long as you are happy and you are following your dreams. Some people think what I do is gross or weird. Okay, well, I'm gross and weird and that's what I want to do. So I got on the phone the next day and I said, I will do anything to be in this course, and my grades were great and I got in and I couldn't be more happier. I was the most happiest person, and also my whole family were all so supportive and happy about it, and I could not be happier and thankful for that. So today I am almost graduated from embalming school, so I'm only a few months away from becoming a mortician. So my schooling is almost over, so that's me in my apron, my scrubs, my mask, and my goggles, my hairnet, my whole E.T. mask is what I always call it. You know, at the end of E.T. when that happens? Yeah, that's what I look like. And then I got my embalming chemicals in my hand, and I love what I do. I can't be happier, and I have my trocar there. I don't know if anyone would know what that is. Do not go Googling it if you have a weak stomach. But I love what I do, and I cannot be happier. So my message to you guys is be happy and follow your dreams. You can't live for anyone else but yourself, and you need to be happy first. So thank you guys so much, because you guys are a big part of my life and YouTube and in this video in general that I'm doing right now. So thank you guys for making me so happy in my life and giving me good feedback and positivity, and I cannot thank you guys enough. And if you want to see a part 2 of this, because I have a fun life, I think, let me know. Goodbye, guys!